Welcome, and thank you for tuning in to the American Investor Show. Please click subscribe if this is your first time listening. From trader and CEO interviews to breaking news about companies you won't hear anywhere else, nobody does a better job at keeping you in the know when it comes to penny stocks. The term penny stock generally refers to a security issued by a very small company that trades at less than $5 per share. Penny stocks are extremely risky, yet they offer rates of return on investment not seen anywhere else. The host, guest, and callers are not registered financial advisors licensed by any government entity, and therefore, the following should be considered entertainment. The host, guest, and callers disclaim all liability in the event any information, commentary, analysis, opinions, advice, and/or recommendations prove to be inaccurate, incomplete, or unreliable, or result in any investment losses. Before investing in penny stocks, you should consult a professional to determine what strategy may be best for your individual needs. Now, without further ado, your host, LaSalle Anungu.
Yes. What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Sal in the building right now. Shout out to all the people slowly coming into the chat room. Damn, I wore the worst shirt in the world for the show today. But I appreciate you guys joining me. All right, appreciate you guys joining me. What's going on? People coming into the chat room. Gucci, Life for Business, First In, Cristal. Vote for Cake, Londale Carter, Jeff the Mean Marine, what's up? Red Rides, Corey Kwan, Mace. Dr. Butterfly, what's going on? DPG, Wonder Casa, Kayak Z, Gerardo. Bill Betsy said we can put January 19 puts. Look, I'm telling you guys, the bottom is coming. You know, the market did too much pre-market, so there wasn't enough there wasn't enough room at the top for everybody. That's the problem. The market did so much pre-market, there wasn't much else to do. All right, there wasn't much else to do. Hold on here, I'm trying to figure out. Okay, this is how to do it. Hold on 1 second, guys. Colored. There we go. Okay, all right. So let me just get rid of that one. All right. I'll figure out how to do it next time. Yes, indeed. So I'm sure you guys today saw that Illuminati ritual initiation that happened today with Zuckerberg, owner, CEO of Facebook, had to go through today. All we saw there, ladies and gentlemen, was an Illuminati initiation. All that talk about, you stole, people's bullshit. That was all that had to do was the fact that, let me go ahead and replace it, the fact that he got signed up to the team, man. He got signed up to the team, and you get that simply because look at the guys who have, been called to testify over the last 30 years. Now, they've all been brought up for, several different reasons, but those you guys who watch how those initiations go down, they typically happen in public. And one of the things that are as required during the initiation is some kind of embarrassment. So some kind of secret that's got to be let out, some kind of public shaming that is either has to happen in public or has to be told to the group that can be used against you if you were to ever disobey the rules, of that framework. And what we saw, ladies and gentlemen, today, and interesting enough, we saw, by the way, these are billionaires. We saw one of the richest men in the world get exposed as being, some kind of midget or some. Look at how they have this guy. You got to understand, this guy on the screen right now, Mark Zuckerberg, this guy's worth Several billions of dollars. They could have easily had got him a damn higher chair. They could have made one yesterday. They knew he was coming. But what they did was that they put this goddamn ugly looking booster seat on top of this damn chair to publicly embarrass him. Now, I know it sounds crazy. You're going to have to do your research, you know. I'm one of those dudes who kind of grew up with the Alex Jones thing. I'm back when he used to spit real shit. Now he's on some, you know, oh, God, oh, the Bilderbergers, oh, you know, they're going to take our guns. All that other bullshit. But back when he used to spit real shit about the Illuminati, you know, you got all that deep, good game. So he passed the initiation today. Nothing's going to happen to Facebook. Nothing's going to happen at all. I mean, at the end of the day, the stock's down, 10, 15%. That's peanuts to these people. That's peanuts to these people. Nothing's going to happen to Facebook at all. No need to worry. If you're smart, you should be buying those calls at that top. Look, Wells Fargo, 9-10 months ago, told you they signed up 4,000 fake accounts and took over $7 billion. They didn't do shit to them. Still. Goldman Sachs came out and said we ruined the world economy. Didn't do shit to them in 08, 09. Nothing's going to happen to Facebook, all right? Nothing's going to happen to Facebook. He just went through an initiation, public embarrassment, shaming, and he passed with flying colors, all right? And life is going to go on. So shout out to people coming into the chat room, people already here. Let's get into your tickers today. While Facebook was going through that, I was watching the stock and, you know, it was doing some really great things, man. People loved the answers he was giving. As robotic as some people, I saw somebody in the chat room say they were robotic. The stock was doing really well, man. The stock did really, really well. And I think, you know, if you were a Facebook call buyer at those lows, I think you were really, really happy with what you saw today and, you know, the gains you got today. All right. I mean, great companies are going to continue to win, man. Great companies are going to continue to win. Facebook, as you can see here, you got to those lows at the 150s, 151s. Those were the times to buy. And as you see here now, Facebook 165.04 and showing, you know, on the daily chart, looking like we're about to cross back over that 50 RSI. MACD is already showing the crossover, so things are going to be looking very lovely for Facebook, at least in the short term. All right. Yeah, all that fake shit about people like, oh, you know, I'm going to delete my account. Let me tell you something. If you delete your Facebook account, nobody gave a fuck about your post anyway. That's why you deleting that shit. Okay? You weren't using it, or nobody gives a fuck about your posts. That's just facts, man. You know. Yes, indeed. What's going on, JT, the Bullhead Trader? Yeah, I've been eating off of TVIX. Literally so far, well, we only a couple days into the week, but I've been eating off TVIX, man. 10, 20 cents at a time. Just eating off TVIX. It's a great ticker to trade at those, especially at those, you know, 980 levels. It's a guarantee at 980 to slap 10 again. You know, low 10s. And when I say low 10s, I mean 1005 or below. 1005 or below, you're almost guaranteed to slap 1015, 1025, 1030. All right. And you can just kind of go back and forth 10, 10, 10, 10. It's awesome. Awesome. Let's go look at some other tickers that I was quite disappointed because I thought you'd see a little bit more action, particularly yesterday. But, you know, Twitter, good day, right? I mean, it's a 5.4% day. But I was just kind of surprised you didn't hold those highs. Because I did see the $30 call go into money, and then it just pulled right back. But Twitter, things are going to be turning around for Twitter, as you can see here too, as that stock too kind of suffered along, you know, with Facebook, with the inconsistencies about how our government was going to approach, how to effectively, manage our privacy rights. But as I said, nothing's going to happen, and these stocks are going to continue to go back to their winning ways. And TWTR, Twitter, showed that today with at least a nice day gain, So pay attention to that looking forward. Snap was another one that kind of got left in the dust here, man. I got some interesting things to say about Snap because, I got that 1329 support listed on there because I'm ready to buy some puts if it breaks that level. It could bounce off there too. And then I think that's where probably some $14 calls or $15 calls you can get at a really great discount. I think they're too expensive here with where it is on the chart right now. Still showing quite a bit of, bearish sentiment right now as you still see the RSI as well as MACD showing coming out a lot of bearish energy. But I'm watching the social media stocks very closely. 646, Ken, what's up, man?
Hey, what's going on? How are you?
Ken, what's up, bro? FUSZ's been on a tear, man.
It hit a high of 217, and then it crashed down at $1.68 around 1 o'clock this afternoon. Closed at 191. Just shows you a tiny float. A couple people just put their shares up at market, and it brings it down. But it came back, and today's close was a brand new all-time high for the stock, because 183 was the last previous high. So still a decent day with the doji.
Yeah, you had some buyers come in. Obviously, somebody sold some heavy positions today as well. Not the prettiest candlestick for the day, right? But at the end of the day, no. You got an interesting. I saw some post about he's got some kind of meeting tomorrow.
Right.
So you're gonna need that buying tomorrow to definitely keep this up higher. So if he knocks that presentation out, wherever that is, maybe you stay above these 190s here.
Yeah, and then I think next week is the announcement of the Oracle contract next week, right before the Oracle conference from Monday the 23rd to Thursday the 27th, and then the following week there's another conference. So they have a lot of catalysts still coming up to push it higher. We'll see.
Excellent.
What do you think of buying calls in Oracle? I tweeted you earlier, ORCL, since Oracle's going to benefit from their product.
I think Oracle, again, based off the earnings sell-off, Bat Scientist had talked about this a couple weeks ago, and he kind of talked about that, after earnings sell-off, and then you can pick it up from here. I think you can buy calls here, period, because the business is an excellent business. But buying calls specifically for the news with FUSZ, I'm not sure, just because I don't understand. I don't see how that news benefits Oracle as much as it benefits FUSZ. I can see FUSZ running that day, but I don't see, $45 billion Oracle bouncing 5 or 6% on news doing business with an OTC stock. I don't see that move.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. The MACD is going positive, and on the market's slightly improving, so that'll be interesting. We'll see what happens.
Absolutely.
And then the next one, Renova, RNVA. I mentioned I sold it earlier today, and I sent you a post this evening from Investors Hub that I thought was really, really interesting. The guy said there is risk with it, but if the hospital, if they don't do the reverse split, it gets voted down, and they spin the hospital off, this could make millionaires out of people. It can fly. I mean, I don't want to get too excited, but something it's interesting.
Yeah, it's got an interesting story, man. I mean, I've been watching this for quite a while, and I'm not. I don't even look at it. I see it in my account, but I'm not watching it every day. I believe in what they're doing, and I'm just going to continue to ride. I'm up big already on it, but I have an exit in mind, but it's not anywhere near that right now. So. You, that the reverse split is on my, that risk is out there. But, if there is one, I hope it's fair to the shareholders and we're not getting overly screwed. I can understand what they might want to see in having share prices become a little bit more, stable. But I think it's on the right track. I think it's gathering steam. I think people see the upside potential, and management, is going to allow it to just do its thing. And I hope that's the case.
Yeah, it should be interesting.
There it is. Appreciate you, Ken.
One. Yeah, enjoy your evening. Thanks. Take care.
Thank you. So shout out to Ken. Appreciate the call, man. And his FUSE has been on a tear, dude. His FUSE has been on a tear. Admittedly not my kind of play, and maybe I didn't give it the chance it required. We've seen this play before. We've seen the play before. But, it's had a scary ride. It's had a scary ride, and you got to understand that Ken knows how to play these kind of charts. If you're the guy with only, a couple thousand or a couple hundred, I don't want to toss you into something like this because, you can lose your shirt if you don't know what you're doing. All right. If you're not in those, crevices of the OTC online space where you get to hear the information that Ken gets. All right. You get scared out of a downside move if you don't know what's coming. All right. If you don't know what's coming. What's going on, Shirley Lewis? DNR, SOK, and OK. Yeah, shout out to the guys in Sprint, man. Sprint was, what a beast, man. I saw some of those calls. I saw those $5, those $6 calls. I mean, they damn near, what? Yeah, they damn near tripled in value, dude, on those Sprint calls. Insane move on Sprint today as they announced that they were going to restart merger talks with T-Mobile. Both of them are shitty companies, Sprint and T-Mobile. I've had both services. They both suck. I don't care what anybody says. Nothing's better than Verizon. Verizon is the best. I mean, I switched over to Verizon, and I don't get none of that. Sometimes you pull out your phone and you go to Google Maps and, it's telling you you're offline or something. Well, I don't get none of that shit with Verizon. But great move today in Sprint. I got to give it to him. Ka-ching. Big time move, man. You open up the day today, 514. You get to as high as 641. You're talking about $1.30 a share. That's an incredible kind of move on some options, particularly on options this cheap, right? It's a $6 stock. So the options are dirt cheap. You can really load up. And the guys who really loaded up on those $6 calls, on those $6 out the money calls, if you got them early, you killed it. You absolutely killed it. You absolutely killed it. Repay. Oh yeah. I mean, I already explained what he did, but that's what happened. All right, you guys publicly watched an Illuminati initiation. HMNY down 8% today. This was one stock that I've been watching over the last couple of days. I'm not going to say it's down and out yet, right? Because we've seen what it can do. But maybe this is kind of like what Dries was doing. Dries was a star at one time, and maybe after a couple reverse splits and some other stocks become, go-to plays, maybe you just can't be great anymore. But I don't want to do the Tiger Woods and just kind of walk away from HMNY because I think he can be great again. But, an 8% loss on a good day for the market, I was pretty disappointed. All right. Yes, indeed. I don't know if anybody saw my post on gold last week. I said gold was going to be one to watch this week. I posted that on Twitter. I also posted an article on my website, Advanced Equity Research, showing you the best gold ETFs you can trade right now. Go to my website, Advanced Equity Research, get those ETFs. But you saw a nice move today on JNUG, up 2%. Up 2% today. It's been a decent winner in the last couple of days. I mean, 1% here, 2% here. But, it's still funneling. And you're headed towards that breakout price. All right, you're headed towards that multi-month breakout. Now, you're still, on the weekly, if we look at the weekly, you're still, been kind of on the downside, but RSI is still building. Right, you still got positive momentum showing up here on the RSI levels. MACD's got to get some separation, if showing that positive momentum higher. But, for the most part, it's headed in the right direction. All right, you're headed in the right direction. But this is going to be one that you're going to have to hold a little bit. But so far, the candlestick developing for this week, it's good. It's good. I'd love to see this develop into a nice Marubatsu, right? So a solid one where we hide those the upper and bottom wicks. I'd love to see a solid candlestick, something kind of like this without a wick at the top. That'd be nice to see to end JNUG's week. So hopefully, I saw after hours we were losing a little bit of steam. We get a nice move to the downside, and then gold, really picks up the pace. Gold really picks up the pace. So I'll be watching gold in the near future. What else I saw today? The Congressional Budget Office, nonpartisan, came out yesterday and announced that our national debt in 2019 is going to reach $819 billion. $819 billion next year, and we're going to be hitting $1 trillion. Right, $1 trillion in 2020. That's nearly 2 years before we, they expected for us to hit $1 trillion in debt. All right. Now, some economists are running scared. Some aren't, because people have different ways to look at it. Right. If you're part of the Warren Buffett crowd, you're looking at our national debt per GDP as a percentage of GDP. And if you're looking at it from that angle, then shit, 1 trillion is nothing. What's the size of the U.S. economy? Let me see. U.S. GDP, get it, 18.57 trillion as of 2016. So looking at it as a percentage of GDP, it's minuscule. It's minuscule. And as Warren Buffett has talked about, you can have a 2%, gain in that national debt every year for eternity, as long as you're maintaining that level of percentage of GDP. It doesn't matter how high it can go. Doesn't matter, right? As long as your country is still being able to continue to show growth. So that's something to be aware of. Traders should know that kind of information and should be aware of it. All right. Treasuries moved up a little bit today as well. Overall, it was actually a decent day across the board, man. It's a healthier day than what we've seen over the last couple weeks. Definitely better than what we've seen over the last couple weeks so far. But can we build off of that? That's the thing. Can we build off of that? I see the MACD crossing over here. We didn't have, but again, we didn't close very strongly today. And that's what it is. Here's the 5-minute chart for today's action. We did a lot pre-market, so there wasn't much there at the top. We did a lot too early. I mean, I know some of you guys that saw that 10 a.m. run. We saw that 10 a.m. run, and this was just a beautiful day. That beautiful moment for TViz, because you got to like the 980s or something up there at that low, and wow, what a beautiful opportunity for anybody at that level. Incredible. All right. So let's get into the tickers you guys were trading. You know the line. 305-600-2896. TNDM. Shit, TNDM. I remember seeing it a couple days ago. Nobody brought it up yesterday. TNDM, boy, I got to give it to you, then. That's a monster kill. That's a nice one.
Monster kill.
Up 22% today alone. You are one of the biggest gainers on the market today. TNDM. Big winner. I think it was a runner also in Black Box. Shout out to TNDM traders. Had a high of 722, settled at 701. So very close off that high. 22% gain. 22% on your money in TNDM today. Nice. Nice play. GBTC, the Bitcoin miner. Well, not Bitcoin Investment Trust, rather. GBTC. I'm actually kind of impressed the fact that this stock, you know, I honestly thought it was a goner. I thought it was a goner. And, you know, Bitcoin is fighting for its life. I'll give it to you, man. Bitcoin is fighting for its life. BTC, right? It is fighting for its life. BTC, here's Bitcoin chart. And I got to give it to him, man. That fund, GBTC, it follows it better than anything that I know trading out here. And, you know, Bitcoin is fighting, man. It is fighting to hold these levels. Now, you know, I think it continues to break down, especially if you don't get a bounce here over the next couple days. I mean, you're still below 50 on the RSI. Yeah, that shows very, very a lot of weakness. A lot of weakness here. So, not a big fan. You know, I've never been a big fan per se of Bitcoin in general. But we'll see. Wish them the best on that, but not anything I would trade. All right. Yeah, I did see that scheduling conflict on FUSZ as well. I did see that as well. STNG, Scorpio Tankers. I always get them confused with Safe Bunkers. 8% gain in this stock as well. Nice play today. I don't see why. What justified the move? I don't see why. Wasn't a low RSI move. You were actually just above 30 to start the day. So on the RSI. So let me know what the move was about there. I get confused a lot with Safe Bunkers. Safe Bunkers is one of those kind of stocks that, you know, not a lot of volume. Not a lot of volume, but it's got a lot of volatility. And, you know, you catch it at some of those levels, it can give you, you know, 20 to 30 cents real quickly. But this is one that I've been looking for it to possibly break down. Safe Bunkers. KONE. Nice move on this one. I'm not familiar with the stock. KONE. Let me know on it. I think, is this the headphone company? Or I'm getting them confused. You know what? I'm getting them confused with KOSS. KOSS, the guys who make the budget headphones. Yeah, I'm getting them confused. This is something else. Not familiar with KONE though. Give me a call if you know anything about it. Let me see here. SPPI. I don't know if you guys saw that move in Netflix today. You saw the move in Netflix today. Netflix, was it JP Morgan? I believe it was JP Morgan. Upgraded them to a price target of $375. $375 price target on Netflix. It's so funny because we just had Dr. Butterfly call up yesterday about Netflix. I told her it's definitely a buy long term. Be careful what happens on earnings. It's going to be really interesting to see here. I'd love to see that MACD cross pretty, sooner than later. MACD looks like we're going to cross. We're just above the 50 RSI. We literally just slapped it today. That's good news. I don't love the candlestick, but I like the news that came out today with JP Morgan Chase, and I think that's exactly what it needed. So let's see if we can hold that. The last couple candlesticks have been kind of scary. showing a little bit of resistance of those 300s again. And that, this is a stock that's been over 300 very successfully, for several, couple of weeks here back in March. So not understanding why the last couple of days we've had some resistance here. But we know what's happened over the last couple of days. So we'll be watching Netflix tomorrow and seeing how that moves forward, because you have earnings right around the corner, and this could be an opportunity for a lot of people to make some good money. All right, on a nice pop there on earnings. All right. Somebody brought up Nflx, Newfield Exploration. Let's see here. Where are you at on the 100? All right, so still, 50. Okay, so you crossed the 50. You crossed the 50 today on Nflx. And oil and gas exploration. Hey, look, if you like the trend, get in it. Find something and get in it. All right? Otherwise, you're just chasing these things intraday, and you're gonna end up losing. All right? Because 6% today, down 3% tomorrow. You know how it is. To get the meat of the move, you gotta commit. All right. I just posted a interesting set of numbers that I found on TQQQ. And, this is kind of why it's just sad, because so many of us, unfortunately, get into this investment game so late. I saw how a $10,000 investment in TQQQ back in 2010, a $10,000 investment, TQQQ, when it first started on, February 11th, 2010, a $10,000 investment has now turned into $261,818. A $10,000 investment. Now, let's say if you didn't even have that then. I mean, shit, $1,000. That means you're up, $26,000. Right? In a little bit over, a little less than 8 years. 8.1 to be exact. Yeah. So you got to find something and commit to. That's why lately I've really fallen in love with ETFs, just because I've been seeing what they've been able to do for people. And I think now we're at some of these tops, especially when we're talking about the TQQs and stuff. So I'm looking at, their inverses. To see, hell, if I can get, if I can double my money in something like this or more, or get a half of the return that you see people got in TQQ, in the T's, that's good money. That's good money for money that you're going to be sitting on anyway. 919 Bats, what's up, man?
Hey, Sal, how are you doing, sir?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. Did my second day trade of SPY today. Mm-hmm. Everything looking good. Today I doubled my risk. Doubled from 2 contracts to 4 contracts. Mm-hmm. Made another 18% today. And, man, this is just a great thing about trading stocks. I know, or ETFs, or more specifically options on ETFs. Mm-hmm. You mentioned this before, where you're like, once you start shorting, it's hard.
Yeah, I told you, Bats, welcome to the dark side, bro. Yeah. Once you start buying puts and you start, getting some of that money, you start to become someone who's got a bias towards stocks going down. You become a bear once you start buying puts, because you realize the money comes faster, and the risk reward makes it worth it, especially when you're talking about buying puts on stocks that are now, kind of overextended and struggling a little bit, you find yourself being able to make money, a lot easier than you would, buying puts, let's say, last year.
Exactly. And what I found is most of us are conditioned, especially coming in for the first time, most of us have a long bias for stocks because you're taught to buy low and sell high. So even the concept of shorting a stock is not, is not normal. It's not intuitive, I should say. That's a better word. It's not intuitive the first time round. So shorted yesterday, made 18%. Today shorted with double the risk, made 18% again. And I didn't even catch the full move. I caught maybe a third of the move, and I made, 18%. So that's pretty amazing. I just wanted to pick your brain in general about SPY because I know you've traded it. Do you have some tips for myself or anyone else who wants to trade SPY options? What have you found, to work for you on this particular ETF?
I don't have any comments in general on it. I mean, all I can say is that, this is, especially on the put side, when the stock starts to show some trouble, you'll start to see huge surges in volume because you've got to understand that, the SPY is what's used as a hedge for private, wealth capital as well as institutions. So these institutions, these funds, they're too big to sell their positions on a very bad day, right? So they can't just go out and liquidate, a $1 billion position. So what they do to hedge their gains in their current portfolios is that they buy SPY puts. So, SPY puts, DIA puts, QQQ puts, but particularly SPY puts. So, you buying puts, especially on the SPY, is probably the best way to trade the SPY because other than that, if you're buying SPY to go on the call side, then you got to be somebody who's going to commit for a certain period of time. That's how you can really make your money. But the big money in SPY is on the downside, on those huge days.
And that's what I found because with the strategy I'm using now, and by no means I haven't really perfected it, I would like to catch the meat of the moves. Obviously, it's really tough, but I mean, if you're making 18% per trade, I mean, that means you double your initial capital in 4 trades. So that's not trivial. What I found is, and you've talked about this a lot, other traders have talked about this, where during the first hour, that's where you get a lot of the movement. And you'll notice, I mean, with SPY, it's really been difficult to kind of gauge when it reaches the tops because obviously, when you put in, your put option, you want to make sure that, it's somehow struggling with resistance at the top, and then that's the best time to time, getting into the trade. And, you're really looking for, upper lower wicks. So I found like with the 5-minute time frame, it's definitely a better time frame to use than the 1 minute.
Absolutely.
Because of false signals. But using the 8 exponential, I've kind of found with the SPY, you want to probably go to a 10-minute. I know you talk a lot about going to the hourly, but essentially, basically, when everyone else is trying to trade the SPY when it opens, you should be sitting back and just watching what the ETF is telling you. So for the first hour, I would recommend don't even touch it, unless, of course, you get like repeated, green candles or red candles that can show you, okay, this is definitely the direction. But I would recommend for the first hour, just sit back. And what I've noticed, and I guess this has happened with 2 days with the SPY, where towards the end of the day, it'll kind of make a feeble attempt to establish a new high, and then for the next hour it'll sell off. But that's only been in the last couple of days. So today there was a sell-off. It kind of went to 266 and then started selling off. Yesterday it also tried to establish a high and sold off. So the only thing I would say, maybe for me personally, to catch the meat of the move, instead of waiting just like for an hour, give it a little bit more time, maybe 2-3 hours, or even wait till midday, because essentially what you want is that last ditch effort where traders buy the stock back up. It seems to be selling off in the last hour. That I can say. It seems to be doing that. But once again, each day is its own pattern.
Absolutely.
So you can't go by that. But that's at least what I've seen with the SPY. And once again, like the beauty of options, and thanks to you, thanks to Connor, thanks to Mr. Lloyd, I would have to put $50,000 into the stock to buy it outright to make the type of money that, I'm making right now. You're capitalizing on that 100x leverage that you have. So one contract is 100, you're essentially controlling 100 shares.
Right.
And even with $1 or $2 move, you are making 20-30% on the SPY from, a $1, $2 move from a $265 stock. So, this is just where like options, and the way I've been doing it is I've been buying weekly options and day trading it. I've never had this success where, this is granted, it's only the second day, but my second day trade where I've consistently made, 18.5%. After, this is even after, I factored in commissions, and to do that 2 days in a row and going long, I would say for all of those wanting to think about making money, most traders will make mistakes going long, and you'll find whether it's you, Sal, you like to short, Timothy Sykes, all those people who have a lot of success, they're able to short a stock, and my goodness, you can do it in options, risking a little amount of money to make the same amounts of money that people are making, using margin or shorting, where you could end up owing more than you put in. But through options, you only lose what you put in. So you can sacrifice, risking $500 instead of $50,000 and make the same amount of money as someone buying the SPY outright with $50,000. So it's extremely powerful. And like I said, I'm only going to get better at this. Right now, I'm focusing on nothing but the SPY. I want to know the ins and outs of this stock. Yesterday was not so typical, because if you saw from yesterday's trades, you got a perfect bell-shaped curve where it started at the bottom, hit a peak, came down symmetrically, and closed at the end of the day. Yeah. You won't normally see a pattern like this. And today I could have been burnt because, it looked like it was going up. The futures were looking good.
Yeah, it was.
But you've mentioned this, Sal, where you are like, the SPY may have a good day on any one particular, but you've got to have kind of a more like long-term bias for it to go bearish. And so based off of that, I'm trying to time the tops, and they say you can't try and preempt the top, but I think really what I need to do is give it an hour or two, wait even longer, maybe even wait until the last hour or hour and a half or 2 hours before the market closes, and then look for that sell-off at the end, because my sense is that people know that the SPY is unstable right now, and they'll try and extract as much as they can from it on the long side. But at the end of the day, they know that they're going to sell it off because they don't know what Trump will say, at the end of the day, or what the markets will look like tomorrow. So, yeah, I appreciate it. And, once again, it's really been good trading this. Yesterday I risked $500. Today I risked 1,000. You and I know that with time I'll be putting, 10, 20K into this. So until I'm really, really confident, we'll see how tomorrow goes. But you need to take this, in your stride, baby steps, and we'll see how it goes tomorrow. But I appreciate it, Sal. No picks today. I'll probably, post something, but right now I'm just focusing on just the SPY. And a word of advice to StockGuard. StockGuard, if you're listening, if StockGuard went into options and used his shorting strategy, he could make 3, 4, 5 times the amount he's making with his knowledge going into SPY puts or just puts in general. So appreciate it, Sal.
Thank you. Appreciate you, Bats.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.
Yes, indeed. Shout out to Bats. Appreciate the call, man. Appreciate the call. And, look, eventually when he gets to those levels, this is an ETF that provides the liquidity for him to do that. If he's going to put that kind of money in it, there's more than enough liquidity. And, his strategy of waiting an hour or two, that makes sense because, again, with the kind of action that's coming in SPY all the time, you've got to become a candlestick reader. And, being that it's incredibly liquid and the spreads are tight, that these candlesticks are pretty accurate for the time frame. They're pretty accurate for the time frame. So get to know your candlesticks. And for those of you guys who've been checking, I uploaded, for those of you guys who have that link I sent in for that Google briefcase, I uploaded a candlestick course. That's pretty good. That's good, especially if you don't know anything about candlesticks to begin with. Get that link that I sent out to you. Some of you guys have requested. There's a candlestick course that I uploaded in there with a bunch of videos explaining candlesticks, their names, what to see when you look at them and stuff like. So if you got some time, take a look at that candlestick course, and that's like a $700 course. And you know me, I do the 5-finger discount, get these Indians to rip it from a website, and we got it. And I got it posted there on Google Briefcase. So absolutely. All right. Yeah, definitely check that out, Andrew. Check that out. 612, you're on the air. What's up?
Oh, shit. Hey, Buenos Aires, Sal. Saludo.
Hey, what's going on? Who am I talking to?
This is Christopher, man.
Oh, Chris, what's going on with you, man?
Nothing. It's all about you. Hope I can interrupt. I hit a bad lag on the things like dial-up because I'm not paying for internet. But
yeah, man. I mean, the connection doesn't sound too good. But go ahead, bro.
Being on episode 301, now Bax is all about the SPY, and that's why I try to understand that too. I just wanted to say hello.
Okay, that's what's up, bro. I mean, did you trade anything today?
Yeah, I trade everything. I would have to look at my phone like, oh, okay, so I bought a couple put. I bought the 237 put on SPY, plus I bought a 275 strike call on SPY, something like that. Because being that I do Robinhood, I can only do directional plays, so I'm trying to mimic a strangle. No, I mean, sorry. I'm trying to mimic
you know
straddle.
what? I actually, Chris, I'm going to send you a video that Bill Betts, I don't know if Bill Betts is in the chat room. Bill Betts sent me a video, and he talked about how to do spreads on Robinhood. So Robinhood does let you do spreads. And there's this guy on YouTube who made a video about it. It doesn't have a lot of views. It only has like 180 views. Let me go ahead and post it. I'm going to send it to you on Twitter. I'm gonna post it right now. All right, all right. So I just went ahead and
like
did
I say, Don Sal, you take care of your cartel. You take care of your cartelitos. Like I said, you just came in. Okay, grazie, paisano.
There it is, bro. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for the call, man. Check that video out.
All right, ciao bello.
Yes, indeed, man. Shout out to Christopher Jewell. And brother, that's the brother from yesterday who put himself in the top 10% by leaving the country. He not goddamn left the country. He's like, you know what? Fuck it. Went to the Dominican Republic and over there, terrorizing them honeys over there. NVCN. Nice play here. 16.8% gain. NVCN. Nice chart. Move that in here. Nice chart. Last couple of days, but damn shit. What happened to that, man? NVCN, and I remember somebody bringing up NVCN. I can't remember who you are, but it was looking good for a while, and then what happened? It was looking good for a while, and I don't know what happened, but this looks like it's going to get delisted anytime now, man. Shit. Yeah, you're going to have to let me know what happened there on NVCN. You know the number. Shirley Lewis, AG, Majestic Silver. Nice gain today on gold. Across the board, you had a nice increase on gold today. Barely 1%. But that's why, when you're looking at gold prices, I love JNUG. But, when you're talking about these leveraged ETFs, they can work for you and against you. But they work for you, when you get these small moves in gold prices, JNUG magnifies it 3x for you. So it ends up working in your favor. And but, there's some other ones out there that aren't leveraged. For example, just, straight up GLD. GLD is not leveraged. GLD is one that I've been watching very carefully. As I'm still waiting for it to break that multi-year resistance level going back to 2013, which is going to be that 131.80. That 131.80. So looking for GLD to, break those levels and move higher, It's done a pretty decent job of staying in the wedge. It's actually broke above it. So that's a good sign for it to break a wedge going higher earlier than expected. So good move for GLD. I'm going to continue to watch the stock, GLD. And, of course, you got some other cheaper ones, GDX ETF. It's a dirt cheap ETF gold miner play. If you can play the option side, I think the calls are, I don't know, what's a GDX call now? I mean, you can get them really cheap. I mean, like $40, $50, $50 options on GDX. They're really cheap, and but they don't move that much. That's the problem. They don't move that much. All right. All right. So let's keep it going. XOM, ExxonMobil. Up 3% today. Let's get out of the weekly. Let's go to the daily, see what we got. Get a prettier looking chart. Boy, this chart's really messed up when we talk about Exxon. It's been struggling for some time here. Looks like the indicators have finally turned around. And you're showing some kind of life here in Exxon. Definitely not anything having to do with the fundamentals, because I'll tell you one thing right now. Exxon is sitting on billions of cash. This is a cash-heavy company, and money isn't necessarily their problem. But I know the crude pricing situation isn't the best. I know Saudi Arabia dreams of $80 crude. That's something that, if you read the articles concerning crude prices, that's something they'd love to see. But here's the thing. They're not even willing to do anything when it comes to the supply. right? They're not willing themselves to do anything when we talk about limiting the output of what they're producing themselves. Interesting stuff. You're going to have to go and read it on oilprice.org. I believe that's the website. And some other websites out there as well, too. All right. Jeff, there, you said you got an $80 call September 21st for $80 on, okay. Yeah, that's more than enough time. Yeah, that's more than enough time. You had a 2% move today. Look, you get another $2 move, this week in Exxon, then you're sitting literally on the doorstep of being in the money. So with a lot of time on your hand. Interesting play. Very interesting play. What's going on, Cali Rob? I saw Cali Rob. I didn't even see him in there. All right. Stock guy, what's up? Yeah, Bats, you can definitely do that, dude. Being that guy who can specialize in one particular ticker. You got guys out there who do that. Yeah, Andrew, we took a look at TNDM. We took a look at that. I mean, it's running like a penny stock. And, I don't think I have anybody in this chat room who's been in the stock over the last couple weeks in TNDM. But, if you are, or if you have been, I got to give it to you, man. That's been an awesome run.
Perfect.
That's been an awesome run. Yes, indeed. All right. Still watching tickers like CAT, the infrastructure stock. We haven't heard anything about infrastructure coming out of the White House. Obviously, the man's got a lot to deal with. Recently that infrastructure seems to have just been put on a back burner somewhere because we haven't heard anything about getting our roads and bridges fixed in this country. And now that I'm thinking of it, I don't know if we're ever going to get to it at least in his first 4 years, right? At least in his first 4 years. So, who knows what's going to happen. Also with this Chinese tariff situation, we had the Chinese come out and play, real smart game that they came out last night. By the way, the market was selling off last night. And because of the Chinese speech by their leader saying that they're going to open up their country to foreign goods and lower tariff, blah, 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 bullshit. All right, to do business in China, the only way an American company can do business in China is you have to have a 50-50 partnership with a Chinese company. All right, that's the only way you can do business in China. So if you want to sell GM, you want to sell Ford, you want to sell Chrysler, well, you can't just as an American go open up a dealership in China. You have to find a Chinese, automobile player. Go to that person and say, hey, look, I want to build this Chrysler dealership here in Shanghai or whatever, Chinese company or Chinese city. And you're going to be a 50% owner and I'm going to be a 50% owner. And that's how, business is done in China. Right? That's how business is done in China. So when China says you're going to open it up, sure, they may lower a few tariffs or whatnot, but that they're not getting away from the 50-50 ownership. They understand how, money works and how to benefit their people, right? How to benefit their people. And that's where we go into that, intellectual property conversation because many American companies are frustrated with the fact that, you've got to go into a 50-50 partnership, and that means giving up, secrets to somebody who may not want to see you honestly succeed in their country, or who can turn around and take those intellectual property and sell it to their Chinese brother, right? Sell it to their Chinese brother and underhand you. You go out of business. So what? They don't have anything to lose. You go home, an embarrassment, and they can go into business with, Chung Wang Li with all the ideas they took from you. Let's keep it going. CTRV. So let's hope the president can solve this issue. Let's hope the president can solve this issue. Again, I don't think it's going to go away. So as Jim Cramer also talked about, they can change, and 180 degree can happen at any time. Turn of event can happen at any time. So nothing's been signed. No ink has been spilled, ladies and gentlemen. So, although we had that speech, we understand that in, international events, things can happen, and all of a sudden a deal is all of a sudden not a deal anymore. It's all of a sudden not a deal any longer. All right. Let me see here. CTRV, USRM. Let's go to USRM a little bit here. US stem cell. It's been a long time. Long time since we looked at USRM. 5.6% gain for that ticker. It's been a long time since we looked at this stock. Company came out and said they had something, on tap with the FDA. Came out later to, be seen as false. Basically a bunch of bullshit. They had nothing at all going. And we wrote the company off. And so did many other investors. But here, USRM, last couple of weeks, has a second life. USRM up 5.6%. Yes, indeed. SRNA. Let's see what the marijuana stocks are doing. I'm still waiting for Jeff Sessions to quit. Still waiting for Jeff Sessions to quit and go. And this man just will not go away. I don't know what it is, but this man would not go away. And he still continues to go to work, and as if his boss isn't shitting on him every day. Every day, his boss is shitting on this guy. And he continues to go to work. SRNA, 15% gain today. Marijuana stock, last couple of days have been really good for this ticker. They came out and they announced Q4 results back on April 2nd. Company did a $1.8 million equity offering back in December. And Bad Scientists talked about how those equity offerings tend to be opportunities to buy. And this again back in December, so actually it's some higher prices. Obviously that wasn't a great opportunity to go in there. But last couple of days, SRNA, nice move there from 14 cents a share, now trading at 22 cents a share, SRNA. You said you're waiting for Jeff Sessions to die? Damn. This guy said he's waiting for them to die. MNLEF. What is that? And I'm not even getting a ticker for that, bro. MNLEF. I'm not even getting a ticker for that one. Corey Kwan. He said he's waiting for them to die. That's what he said. Shit. All right. What else you guys got, man? It's been a quiet day for today. Y'all ain't got the tickers today. DSGT 832. You're in the air. What's up?
Hello. You would like to buy some goat milk, buddy?
Hello? Not that again. Not that again. This guy called up talking about some motherfucking goat milk. Motherfucking goat milk. Yeah, I don't know. It wasn't funny to me, but I mean, I don't know. I thought it was pretty lame. WEED. WEED, 6.8% gain today. This is the U.S. version of Canopy Growth, which goes by like TWJMF or something like that on the OTC side. On the Canadian side, they got a couple tickers. I don't know what that deal is. I haven't done that much homework on Canopy Growth, but I do know it's by far one of the most legitimate cannabis operations on the market. All right, on the market by far. By far. Let me see here. MNELF. Is an 800% gain. Oh yeah, this is that one. Okay, yeah, I saw this one on it. Yeah, you know, it's kind of one of those things. I mean, you just look at it and you say, "Wow," but you know, nobody made that meat of the move unless besides the people who were promoting it. Besides the people who were promoting it, you know, that's who got the meat of the move. You know. All the other suckers, though, you know, for the most part, they lose. Yeah, Stockerfella, it's been a minute. It's been a minute since we had some crank callers, and I was just getting ready to hit my favorite thing for those kind of calls, but he ended up hanging up. And his goofy ass probably really did do that voice too. Yeah, it was clearly a pump. It was clearly a pump. HLL Hallmark Financial Services. Hallmark Financial Services. Going positive here too, breaking them back to 50 RSI. Breaking into 50 RSI. What are you guys in though? What are you guys in for like days at a time? Not a day trade. What are you guys in? I mean, you got to have something that you're in. Like, I've told you guys what I'm in. I'm in, you know, FAZ, right? I'm in FAZ. FAZ is the Direction Financial Bear 3X ETF. So, basically, you know, for the guys who were FAS, this was the long way, right? I'm in FAZ, which was this is the bear way. So, I'm believing that financials are going to have a hard time with interest rates going up this year, right? If interest rates go up, that means companies, individuals have to spend more to take care of their debt. I think that means, you know, it puts a squeeze on financial institutions, and FAZ goes higher. Down day today, it's a 3X ETF, so it's going to, you know, be either way up and down, all right? There's got to be something you guys are in. As long as it stays above the 50 RSI, I'm staying in it. Today we got just back underneath it. All right, and we'll pull up your tickers in just a minute. 281, what's up?
Hey, I just got finished watching Wolf of Wall Street, and I came on here and looked up penny stocks because I want to fuck bad bitches. fuck some bad bitches as well. Sorry, Get
out of here, you damn nigger!
AERX. 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 Now you notice there's only a certain type of people that does that, right? You guys see that, right? There's only a certain type of person that does that. When we're trying to do something productive, it's that certain type of person that will call up and try to, you know, I don't want to go there, but, you know, when it's always that certain kind of person, you know. Anyway, let's keep it going. AERX, 11% gain today. 272. Oh, nice. Got back above the 50 RSI as well. MACD crossover. Yeah, just keep it going. AREX, 11% gain. Let me know what the story is there, man. Let me know what the story is there. You know, I'm not a big fan of the oil and gas right now. Like I said, Middle East is a mess. We've talked about this on the show. Middle East is a mess. You know, there's nothing. What's that conglomerate of company? OPEC? Oil, petroleum, what's the E something? I forgot what it is. Oil and Petroleum Economic Council or something like that. But look, when you've got, you know, two of the biggest producers of oil as failed states, you know, how can you create policy? How can you create effective policy around this commodity? So I'm not a big believer in it, but nice gain today on AREX. I should write an article just cause on guys who are interested in playing crude, because you do have those guys out there who still believe in, you know, possibly $100 oil being a reality. But I've told you guys before, your great grandkids are gonna want every put they can buy on crude when electricity becomes the standard, right? The standard way we move and, you know, we get our energy from, right? As fossil fuels wind down. Because we're probably at the beginning of the third quarter, and when we talk about fossil fuels, we're probably at the third quarter of it. We're probably going into the fourth quarter, honestly, of fossil fuels. Probably going into the fourth quarter. You've seen some countries getting a lot more aggressive. Oh, absolutely, ghetto stock trader. I don't mind. I don't pay it any mind. It used to get under my skin, but I understand where that comes from. When you're seeing somebody, you know, who's not rapping and goofing off, but talking about something productive, it you know, and you weren't raised to see people like that doing, you know, something like this, it can get under your skin. So I know where it comes from. All right, CELZ, OTC. Oh shit, this thing got destroyed today, bro. Down 15%. Down 15%. Somebody said my feed is skipping. Looks like I'm good, bro. Feed looks good. Is the feed skipping? We're almost out of here. Couple more minutes and we're out of here. Our DPG, I think you're using that Acer laptop today. Okay, yeah. All right, so DPG is on his Acer today. He's on his Acer laptop today, so. All right. Let's keep it going. DNR. CELZ, though, down 15%. OTC, look, that comes with the territory, man. You're just going to have to figure it out. That comes with the territory. You're just going to have to figure it out. DNR. Damn, what's going on with oil? Oh, man. What's all these crude plays running? Where are we at on crude right now? All right. So, I know it's been a tear for 2017 was a great year for crude, but 2018 starts over here, right? This is 2018. That's the high so far. All right, so we are approaching, well, close to breaking out, but slightly down day right now, or today anyway, on crude. WTI, we're at 65.35 a barrel. Yeah, somebody bring it up. Let me bring up the live chart. Yeah, this is it. All right, 65.35. All right, shit. That's what's up, man. I'm looking at these oil and gas companies and, you know, putting up some stupid numbers today. DNR, nice play. Nice play on DNR, bro. Tell me if you're in it. 919, what's up, man? What's going on, Bats?
Hey, Sal, quick one. People were asking me what I look for when I trade. I spoke briefly about it, but didn't get into it with how I trade my SPY options. So I've been trading put options and I've been trading in the money. So essentially what I look for as the stock goes up, I'm trying to find upper candle wicks where maybe there's a resistance that the stock is having difficulty with reaching. You've talked about this a lot. I'm not sure what episode. You've talked about it on many episodes where you're like, when a resistance is hit, your candlestick will leave an upper wick. So what I'm looking for is give the stock an hour or two. Look for when you start getting upper wicks. So this would be on maybe like a 5-minute, a 10-minute, a 15-minute. Look for those when those upper wicks start at the top. Then that kind of gives you an indication of maybe when to start shorting the stock. And conversely, look for lower wicks at the bottom. If you go to the SPY on the 5 or 10-minute, you'll notice that at the bottom, it starts leaving lower wicks, and that normally is kind of telegraphing to you, almost like when someone punches you and you see their shoulder move or see, various parts of their body move. It's almost the stock telling you that this is the low for the time being. So look for lower wicks, many candles that have lower wicks. Look for upper candles, upper wicks for the resistance and lower wicks for the support, and that'll kind of tell you when to get in and out of the trade depending if you're going long or short. I also actually use the Ichimoku cloud and I didn't mention that before, on the 5 and 10 minute today, because the stock broke out of the top of the cloud, and this is for some other time, but I used the Ichimoku cloud when I shorted SPY at the top, or what I thought was the top, at 265, because it ended up being 266 was the top. Anyway, at 265, when the stock initially opened, it actually broke through the cloud on the 5-minute and the 10-minute. And I believe that was 264.28 or 264.30. So when the stock went up to 265, that's when I bought my long put option strike price or whatever at 265. And then I used the top of the cloud when it opened, when it broke out. I used the top of my cloud to be the point where I then sold my put and made money on my trade. So if that answers people's questions, because they weren't sure about what time frame, and I made sure it was in the money because it was teasing 265 after an hour or two. It wasn't able to pass 265, but then of course if you look at the stock later on, it did push to 266, particularly within the last hour of the day. But after about an hour or two after the open, it was struggling to get through. If you see it bouncing a little bit above 265, coming back under 265 and using 265 as the pivot point, I then got into my trade at that point, picking an in-the-money call, in-the-money put option, I should say, because that's where I felt the resistance was. And then I looked at the open, because the beauty of the cloud is that it shows you support and resistance. It broke out of 264.30, so I used that as if the stock sells off from 265 and then goes to 264.30, that's where I knew I needed to start making my profit. So as it sold off, there was a big red candle on the 10-minute, and I can't remember when that was, but that's when I actually decided to sell off the stock. One sign where you can tell you're making huge profits is what Tim Sykes even talks about, what you talk about, Sal, is when you get repeated candles, but if the candle becomes really wide in the body of the candle, or you get repeated red candles as it comes down, then I know that I was in the right. And that's where I sold my stock, was at the top of the Ichimoku cloud on the 5 and the 10 minute, which was around 264, 264.30. Okay. That's all. I just wanted to bring that to everyone's attention.
Appreciate you, Bats. Thank you for that, man.
Thank you, Sal. Take care. Bye-bye.
Yes, indeed. So, and again, if you want some understanding of how to read these candlesticks, and you got that link. I've already put it in that folder. You can check it out, that candlestick course, or you can email me, happypennystocks.com. I can send you the link to it. It's in that folder, and you can watch the videos that I've put in there for guys who want to learn more about candlesticks, how to read them, what they are, how to tell, what a certain candlestick could mean, and, how to make money off of them, right? That's the goal. That's the goal. One last call before we get you out of here. Gucci, you wanted to call up 301. I'm waiting for your call, sir. 301, I'm waiting for your call. 301, waiting for your call, sir. There you are. Gucci, what's up, man?
Hello. This is my first time calling in. I'm listening to your show on my other phone right now.
Okay.
So it's a little delayed, so I'm trying to manage this. I got a couple tickers. I'm not a troll. That fuck shit happened. I was almost about to just say fuck it and not even call in. It's the 301st episode, and this is my papa's number, actually, 301. I had to call in, and my first play right now that I'm finna talk about,
okay,
SFOR, my biggest position.
Okay, SFOR. Let's get back to the daily. And it's your biggest position, as you just said. Tell us a little bit about what brought this to your attention.
Well, mainly I found this play on Investors Hangout, which has been very helpful in figuring out like why I would get into this play. And a lot of people are just posting direct due diligence links on the message board for SFOR. Like, they have 54 patent infringement cases currently open, and their representation is a law firm called Ropes and Gray. They've never lost a patent infringement case, ever. They're a legitimate law firm. Several reputable lawyers, of course. Like, this is not just a small operation. And stuff like that has just made me want to get in and be long and enjoy the position and enjoy this continued growth. I mean, it went down, obviously, from its highs in the last 3 months, but you see this cup forming and it's holding its gains a little bit, but obviously pulling back. I was looking at the Keltner channels, and once you had this 3 white soldiers candlestick pattern a couple weeks ago, then it's pulled back into the channels now. We're looking good to keep going up, so that's why I'm in there.
Absolutely. That's an interesting take on that, man, and that's some good DD that you've done there, because that's something that's fundamental to the story. That you give somebody this ticker, they look at it like, oh, it's an OTC piece of shit, and move on. But you got that right. Inside information, and that's what I'm talking about. How guys who do the research and get a backstory, kind of like what Ken does. You get a backstory, and that's what's going to give you, the strength to stay in the move, even when it goes against you sometimes in the short term.
Right, exactly. Like BYOC, another perfect example. It's been pulling back a little bit, but people are holding strong. I mean, there's so many strong hands in that chart as well. That's another one I was going to bring up, because we haven't been talking about that one lately.
Yeah, BYOC, nice one. Boy, I would have loved to have had some of those 1 cent BYOC back in the day. Look at that.
Hell yeah.
Wasn't too long ago here, back in December. Yeah, back in December. 1 cent a share, man. Look at that. I mean, just above 1 cent a share now, trading at 9 cents. 2% gain today, BYOC. All right, so far good tickers, man. What else you got for us?
All right, I got a couple more plays. Just the second position that I'm really looking forward to that hasn't really taken off yet, but it's expected to, OWVI.
OWVI, One World Ventures. Oh, shit. Hold on. Is this the Dream Trips guys?
Hell, I mean, maybe. I'm not sure. I got this from a Discord room, honestly, but there's some great due diligence I've got on this one. There's news supposed to come out tomorrow about a custodianship.
I got invited to, this brother who was like, hey, man, come to my house party. I'm doing something on entrepreneurship, own your own business. And I was just kind of curious. I was, I'm already doing my own thing. So, It ends up being by a company called One World Ventures. And they're doing these trips. It's kind of like these dream trips where and I swear it was called One World Ventures, unless I'm getting confused. But they were basically saying they go on these group trips all over the world, and they get these package deals, and that's just it was a multi-level marketing thing, so not my thing, because I understand how those things work and how like a tenth of the people are actually successful who participate. But I thought it was One World Ventures. That's interesting. I'll have to look more into this ticker.
Well, it very well may be. I haven't heard of that particularly, but it may be. I mean, the chart looks beautiful. It has traded like a dream from the trip. So,
okay.
All right, another play I have now, AFTC, also another trip from the trips play.
AFTC. All right, alternative fuel. Yeah, it looks like you came out of the trips real heavy. Now you're at 13, and you're holding steady there. Hopefully you can hold that, or it's a not so good trip. Coming back the other way.
Yeah, this definitely might come back a lot before it can go higher. I mean, that's just how the game goes.
Sure.
This one's expected to go kind of like this other play, LDSI. That's another runner that's really developed lately.
LDSI, Life Design Station. All right, you're bringing up some interesting tickers here. I'm not familiar with these. I haven't been as heavy on the OTCs as I used to. LDSI is very much a new ticker for me. I haven't heard of this one.
Yeah, man. I'm just, with the amount of money I'm working with, the OTC is just the best place for me to be right now.
Understand. Dude, I was there, bro. I feel you, bro. And you can create a nice little bag for yourself. Continue to do what you're doing over there.
Yeah. I'm a long time listener. I came across you like early 2017 from the Investors Hangout stream that I was watching. You were in the chat room, so I found your channel there. Been listening ever since religiously, man. It's my first call. And another play I have now, I had just heard, I haven't actually looked at the news, but the ticker is VHC. There's supposedly a $502 million settlement to them from Apple because of Apple using their technology or intellectual property or something.
Hold on, this is VAC?
VHC.
Okay, VHC. Okay, I'm thinking V. All right, VHC. Wow, 500 from, Next share surges jewelry. Oh, I do see here something about an Apple infringement on one of their patents. 500 million, 502.6 million. Apple must pay 502.6 million to Veranex federal jury rules. Wow, did this come after hours?
Yeah, after hours. Yeah, it's up. Yeah.
Hold on, where are we at after hours right now on VHC? Because I don't want to have to open it.
Last I heard, like 30-something percent, 34% up.
You guys see that VHC?
Last I read.
That's a big move, bro. That's a big move. Let me see. Damn, shit. When did that come out? Because I didn't see that. Okay, 5 hours ago. So that's not too. Wow, so about 6 something. Okay. Damn, that's what's up, man.
Perfect.
VHC up huge after hours on a big time jury settlement or decision rather. $502 million. This company, what's the market cap? That's almost twice
I
their
think it's
market cap.
Yeah, twice that. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
That is ridiculous. I mean, it's twice their market cap. The company wasn't profitable, but obviously this kind of cash will put them in profitability. They you know, wow, that's huge. That's huge for a company this small. Almost twice their market cap, so that's big time money for a company this small.
Yeah, man. I hope somebody can get in there early somehow in the morning. I'm not sure how that run's going to go. Probably like the regular after hours run where it just pops up in the morning instantly and either holds its gains or just keeps running.
Yeah, we're gonna have to be careful because you know how these things can work sometimes when they do so much pre-market. So, but you never know, dude. This could be a 200% runner. We've had that in the past, right?
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
You've seen that here on the show, the 100% runners, 200% runners.
Yeah, I wonder what the float looks like on that too.
Let me see here. We're gonna look that up right now. And while I'm looking that up, Gucci, do you have a Twitter or anything people can follow you?
Yeah, I do actually. I do have a Twitter. Let me write the @ in the chat room right real quick. I'll put it in. All right.
All right. Go ahead and do that for people while I go ahead.
Just a small Twitter.
I'll look that up. For people who are there. All right, 51, FinViz is telling me 51 million floating. That's still, but I love that short. Look at that short float. 23% of the float is short. I hope that's right. I really hope that's right.
They're done. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, it's over. 23%
yeah.
float? That's short right now? Oh, it's a wrap for them. It's a wrap for them.
Yeah. All right, well, that sounds great. I mean, honestly, that's a bit out of my range right now. I don't have the powder to go in there right now, but I hope somebody does.
Yeah, we're going to be watching that. And again, he's put his Twitter, and I'm going to follow him right now. I'm going to press follow and follow him right now. So shout out to Gucci for the call, man. I appreciate you, bro.
Thank you, Sal.
And
wait, one more OTC stock. One more OTC stock.
Go ahead.
LIGA, one of the prettiest charts ever, I believe.
Yes, yeah. LIGA, man,
it's been doing wonderful.
That's been a beautiful chart since beginning of 2018. So LIGA, I don't even know what they do, but they just continue to go higher and higher and higher and higher. What exactly is the business on on this ticker? Because I've had guys bring it up, but they haven't really gone into it.
I have to be one of those people on this particular ticker. I don't know much about it, but it's beautiful. I look forward to maybe getting in when it might pull back just a little bit more, but I just lovely to see where it goes from here.
Absolutely.
Anyway, thank you so much, Sal.
Appreciate you, Gucci. Thank you for the call, man.
Good night, man.
Good night. So I appreciate you. Shout out to Gucci for the call. Way to end the show. I'll give him a round of applause. All my callers back. Even the haters, give you a round of applause. Back at you again. One more time, ladies and gentlemen. This is good tickets. Good call. Yeah, definitely, Andrew. Good call from Gucci. Again, follow him on Twitter because you see the man's doing his research. He's doing the DDs. He's in love with the OTCs. He's following. Shout out to David over there at Investors Hangout. Still the best site, hands down, when you're talking about following these OTC stocks. So shout out to David. I think he's still doing his live streams during the day. Man, that's what's up. VHC, $500 million judgment against Apple. 2 times. Let me go back to that. 2 times the company's market cap. 23% of the float is short, if that's accurate. Even if it's half wrong, even if it's 10% of the float, that's still a lot. That's still a lot to get squeezed. So I'm looking forward to this, seeing what happens with VHC tomorrow and how things can play out there. Be careful, though. I have a feeling that's going to move big time at the open, but you don't want to be holding bags, so just be careful with that one. All right. So let me go ahead and ring the bell, ladies and gentlemen. Great call as always. Great calls as always. Good show tonight too. Good show tonight. A lot of good tickers. You know, I still want the market to go down. Fuck it. I still want the market to go down. I know many of you guys are long some of these stocks. The good companies will always continue to go up, but there's a lot of bullshit that can go lower, right? We can still have, Netflix go up, Nvidia go up, and then the rest of the shit can come down. I'm cool with that. Commodities will run, right? Commodities run during bear markets, so we can all eat. We can all eat. You know what I mean? Yes, indeed. Londell Carter, Callie Robb, Mace Engel, Corey Kwan, Red Wides, appreciate you. Succeeder 82. All right, you're gonna send me an email? Okay. All right, I'm gonna check them tonight. Succeeder. Did we just attack Syria? Oh, come on, man. Damn, this nigga done dropped some damn bombs. Hold on. Shit. Did we just drop something? Okay, no. Okay. Damn. Good, man, because these guys love doing shit after hours to fuck up the markets, man. Okay, no, we're good. They're talking about it. Okay, they're talking about it. God damn, man. Yesterday it was China. Now this dude wants to drop some goddamn bombs. Shit. Go to sleep, nigga. Callie Robb, appreciate you, man. Adrian T, thank you. The Me Marine, appreciate you. Who else? Everybody else, man, calling. Kenny Dutton. Shirley Lewis, appreciate you. Bad Scientist, everyone. Until next time, same place. Happy trading, everyone. Good night.